It's Speaking with Gravity, and I am Kervin, your host on this podcast. We talk about mental health and how everything affects everything. When you sit with a therapist, which I am, the conversation is different. On every episode, the goal is for us to try to make you think, make you feel, make you do what's best for you. I'm a therapist, but this isn't therapy. It's just a podcast.
Shout, but ain't nobody around to keep it. How about it? Will it echo? I sing loud to talk to my inner child. He feeling young dreams made out of Legos.
Today, I have as a special guest Mr. M.V. Oliphant. He's a jack of all trades, producing, acting, singing, everything. He does everything. But we're going to talk about just the things that are going on right now with the pandemic, the political climate, everything that's going on. We're in Georgia on this particular episode, so we're going to be focusing on Georgia itself. Mr. M.V. Oliphant, I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself.
Greetings, and my name is M.V. Oliphant. As my friend here, Mr. Earl says, I'm an actor, I'm a producer, as well as a writer and a vocalist, and also away from the camera set, I'm also a global expansion leader for a educational platform program called Epic Trading, which teaches people how to make money off the Forex market.
Okay. Oh, wow. We definitely got to talk about that, too.
Absolutely.
So how you get here? We in the ATL right now. How you get here to Atlanta to do what it is that you're doing right now?
It all started my freshman year at Morehouse College when I arrived in Morehouse, August of 1985. Yes, I'm telling my age.
Okay.
That's
when Biz Markie came out with
Just before Biz Markie.
Okay,
it was Dougie Fresh and on the 45 Kings.
Okay, I got you.
I got you. The Force MDs. Yeah, I'm really telling my age. Some of my classmates had Jerry Curl in there, but it was gone by the second semester.
Okay, all right, I got you.
But I always wanted to come to Atlanta since I was a kid. I'm a native of Augusta, Georgia, by way of a small town outside of Augusta called Wrens, Georgia.
Yeah.
My home people at Wrens, Georgia, they're my followers on Facebook. They say, "Now you know you from Wrens, Georgia. You got to say Wrens." Okay, yeah. Wrens, Georgia. Gotcha.
Not right? Just Augusta, Wrens, Georgia. Not just Augusta.
No boy from Wrens, Georgia. Yeah, but I attended high school in Augusta, Georgia, T.W. Joseph High School, one of the two predominantly black historical black high schools in Augusta, Georgia. And I graduated from Morehouse College in '91, finally, with a degree in mass communications, public relations.
So with you having that major mass comm, you knew that you was going to go into entertainment or acting?
Well, I'm going to tell you how the scope of things here in Georgia was back in the early '90s. I have family that's in California, in Los Angeles. So only thing that was going on here, which I didn't know was going on until, as far as the film industry, was the Heat of the Night. Because I found some of my classmates who were extras on Heat of the Night. I said, "Wow, how they get on there?"
Yeah.
But it turned out one of my acting mentors, who was a best friend of mine. She unfortunately just passed away last month, a victim of the COVID-19 virus. She co-starred in the episode. Her name was Maxine Barnett-Nesbitt, and I met her in 1994. At that time, I was doing acting as a hobby. I was doing like local theater, writing my own monologues, performing my own monologues. And she caught one of my performances at my home church, Broadway Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia, which she was a member, and she, my mother knew her, she was like, "Well, Mark, we have an actress who attends Broadway now." I said, "Really?" Who's in national television, and so I want to introduce you to her. So after I met Maxine, my life changed, because a lot of things that my fellow actors will tell you that's involved in acting, I knew nothing about, but she showed me the ropes. And my first major stage play, even though it was in a small town. I call it major because I was one of the lead actors. It was called House Without Windows. It was a murder mystery play. I don't know if you ever heard of the book or whatnot. And me not having any experience, nothing more than a few church plays I've done growing up back home. And after she kept drilling me, she entrusted me to be one of the lead actors. And after that, things started happening for me. And at that time, I had moved back to Augusta. But by the time I got back here to Atlanta in 2000, that's when the film industry started booming because, as I was saying earlier, when I graduated from Morehouse, I was thinking that I had to go stay with one of my cousins who lives in Los Angeles. Right. He's deceased now. He was going to let me stay with him. He believed in my dream. He was the type, his name's Alvin Williams, he believed in people following your dreams, even nobody else believes in you. Believe in yourself. So he was going to let me stay with him and his wife, Shirlene, for free till I got a job or I was able to get my break. I mean, that's a rarity. Yeah. So that back then in the early 90s, that was the only way I thought that one could become involved in the film industry, because I never imagined. You told me back in the late 80s, early 90s that the film industry was going to be a zenith here in Georgia like it is now. I wouldn't have believed you.
So in 94, when you met her, you knew once you met her and did you catch the bug then?
Yes,
or you knew a little bit before?
Yes, I caught the bug then, but once again, it was a hobby. I was doing that as a hobby. I didn't know how one could get paid or didn't know, what path I had to take, to build this up as a career. And so I was still doing work in my field, which was communications.
And you were saying you mentioned monologues, that you would do monologues.
Yes.
You wrote your own monologue?
Yeah, I wrote my own monologue. It was based on a sermon that a former youth pastor had preached about, and I did a spin on it.
Is that the one that's on YouTube?
No, it's not on. It's not on YouTube.
Okay.
It's somewhere in my old VHS stash.
Oh.
Don't get me like where. I hope I still got it.
I keep trying to take you back, don't I?
I hope I still have it.
But you did one, and I can't. It's leaving me right now. But you did one that was powerful.
Was it
think
The Face of Homeless?
2013.
2013.
I think that's the date that was on it.
Was I a homeless guy with PTSD?
You had on yep, I believe so.
What Army fatigues?
Yes.
Yes, that was for a stage play I did, produced by Patel Alston, called The Face of Homeless.
And you like doing those monologues, and it's a two-part question. You like doing the monologues, and how do you tap into it? Because that's all emotion.
Well, yeah, you said the key word. I was going to get to that, because as an actor, we have to tap into the emotions of who we're portraying. We do more than portray that individual. We have to be that individual. We have to think like that individual. How would this individual carry out this issue? How do they feel? Where are they? These are things that I had to learn when I've taken a number of acting classes over the years of such greats like Kim Fields, the late Tommy Ford, Clifton Powell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my big brother.
I love Clifton. Yeah.
And Troy Rowland, my classmate Tom Scott. He's been on the Georgia Lottery commercial, and I think he's been on Greenleaf and Saints and Sinners as well. And others that I've taken classes with, and the common denominator that they implore actors to do, all real acting coaches, teachers, is to be believable. I have to put Mark away and be Edward. That's the character you saw.
So with that one, how did you? And you say that PTSD. How did you gather emotion for that? Where you get that information from?
Yes, you have to do your research as an actor when you're about to take on a character that's obviously not you, that you never experienced. when I used to work downtown as a security officer, I work late nights, and I've encountered a lot of homeless people. Like if I have something, I give them something, and sometimes I talk to them. Mm-hmm. Say, "What's your story? How did this happen?" So a lot of times, yes, they hungry. They need money, and a lot of them got mental health issues going on. But they haven't been, they got hygiene issues, but they can't help it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of them want to hear your story. They want you to hear their story. He said, "Nobody's listened to me. Nobody asked me that."
So, what are your thoughts on that mental health aspect, part of it? Like,
it's real, because as I tell people, when I see someone that's homeless and down and out, sleeping on the bridge, sleeping in a box, I said, "Thank you, Jesus," because that could have been me. Easy. My Morehouse degree matters not. Me coming up in a Christian home matters not. I couldn't. God just saved me from having to encounter it, because a lot of us that's working paycheck to paycheck, we're just one paycheck away from being in that fix, and that's why I'm involved with the program that I just told you about, mm-hmm. as well, which we teach people how to have multiple streams of income, because you can't live I can't live just as an actor, or I can't just live working paycheck to paycheck for an employer, because if you want a future for your children and leave a legacy instead of bills, then you have to have a plan or life plans for you.
Yeah. I want to go off on that end, but I'm holding towards the end.
I'm riding with you, sir.
But speaking on tapping into the emotions, mental health, PTSD, how much of the responsibility in the entertainment industry is it for you to be aware and accurate of what's going on right now with regards to mental health, with regards to political things that are the political climate? Me and you were talking right before we started, mm-hmm. about how Georgia just flipped to a blue state. I'm not a Georgia resident, but flipped to a blue state, beginning with the president and just this last Senate race. So where does the entertainment come in at in accurately giving that to the people who are consuming the media?
Well, politically wise, as entertainers, it's up to the individual to endorse a candidate or endorse a political philosophy, but it's not really the entertainment industry's responsibility to do such, because what we are storytellers. Perfect example, the gentleman that played President Fitzgerald on Scandal. He plays a Republican president, but in real mm-hmm. life, he's a Democrat.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't know that, because he came down to Georgia last year or so and endorsed a candidate that was running. I can't remember who. It was a big time endorsement that he came by. So that's an example. Now, as far as our responsibility to make people aware of the current issues, whether we want to or not, we are all role models, whether we want to or not. Especially the bigger we become, the more visible we become. That's our responsibility, because people watch TV a lot. People watch movies a lot. People go to Netflix a lot. go to Amazon Prime. Now the theater's closed, we go to Amazon Prime a lot.
Yeah.
So especially young people. So what they see, they eat what they're fed. You feed them BS, they're gonna live with the BS. You feed them uplift, they will live. They will shine. So I mean, if say for example, there's a music video or a film or a character that does something demonic, whatnot, like go up and do mass shooting and killing, whatnot, in the movie theater. There was an instance, I can't remember which instance it was, but the perpetrator said that this is something they picked up from a movie where a lot of people died. And of course, the actor gonna like who did it, or the writers or producers of that film was like, well, that's not our responsibility. They made that decision. I said, well, young people who, especially teenagers, a lot of them are still very, very impressionable.
Yeah.
And they would just do it, just say, well, wow, this thing blew my mind. Let me try it.
Yeah. Our minds doesn't completely develop, I believe, until 25. I think it's for females, and 28.
Yeah, females a lot faster than men. I'm a man. I'm a man. I have to admit that, but that's facts.
But see, even though females develop faster or are complete before we are, it's still later on. It's 25.
Yeah.
So, and we're consuming a lot of media up until that point in time.
True.
I also remember growing up, I used to love watching TV.
Yes.
But my parents put like a time limit
Sure.
on it. But not only did they put a time limit on it, they talked to us. There are times now where it seems as if people are just consuming entertainment, but there's no conversation to go along with the entertainment from people closest to them. Not necessarily that is not going on, but the people closest to them are not being intentional about making sure that they have this conversation about whatever it is. When you say Amazon Prime, I watched American Skin just last night.
Yeah.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it with my kids, but if I'm watching it with them, we got to process that all the way through that whole particular
That is
movie.
very key, and that's wonderful that you're watching with your children instead of letting the TV be their babysitter.
Yeah.
Because if you don't give them, if parents don't give them guidance as they watch, especially if it's something that's heavy, dealing with a heavy issue, you got to talk to them. You got to explain to them. Because if nobody explains it to them, they could just take it and run with it.
Absolutely.
And what they think it is, go talk to their buddies at school and get their take on it and say, okay, all right, this is how we think this is. This is how we're going to run with it.
Yeah.
This is going to be our attitude about it.
Well, when you were saying earlier about that person who had that shooting, who did he process something with of what he saw when he come back? Did he process it? If he didn't process it, of course he gonna think that he can do it or run with it.
He was just amazed by it. Nobody told him that was wrong.
Right. What, as you've been here over the years, what do you aspire to do next? Or are you where you want to be currently as far as the entertainment industry?
Well, it's important that we have to be versatile in this entertainment industry. A lot of us, of course, we start in front of the camera, but we have to learn all the mechanics behind the camera. It's important to learn how to write, tell stories, because really that's where the power is. Perfect example. Regina King, she started way back, you're talking about a journey, she started way back in the day in the 80s as a young teenager on the TV sitcom 227. Here she went from there to Poetic Justice and Ray. And now she's produced an incredible film that's on Amazon Prime called One Night in Miami. I had the pleasure of watching that last night. It's mostly
What was it?
One Night in Miami. It documents the friendship of Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and Jim Brown. I did some research about what because nobody really was there to witness what happened, and only the survivor of those four is Jim Brown, and he's not saying much, especially in his age right now. He's in his 80s now, and so I did some research to find out what was fact and what was fictional in that movie. But going back to Regina King, she directed that movie. She was executive producer and directed that movie, and it's an incredible piece.
With all of those guys that you just named, they were that movie is based off of the One Night, but they were in their prime.
They were in their
at
prime.
that time.
They were in Miami to see Muhammad Ali defeat Sonny Liston
Right.
and win the title for the first time. Now that part was fact.
Right.
They were all at that fight.
And they kind of worked together during the civil rights movement. As far when I say work together, I mean as far as helping to push it along or support it.
From what I gather in that movie, it's like they exchanged their motives, their ideas, and of course the person that who's the torchlighter of being active and responsible for our people, of course, was Malcolm X, and he challenged them all. But it turned out that they were challenging him from what he was going through at that time. If you know Malcolm X's story.
Do you still see that going on now? Then people exchanging ideas, motives, and either in an encouraging way or in a holding you back.
I
type
will
way?
say 60-40. That's still, I say 40%. I could be wrong. 40% of people within our community, the stars and the athletes, whatnot, we challenge and question our lack of responsibility in what we're doing and being a good influence, important influence, or not putting out the millions of dollars that our athletes and our rappers and our artists are making off the industry or off sports into developing our community. And then 60% are working together, which I'm very proud of. Who I'm most proud of are Killer Mike and T.I. Because they went back to their hood. They grew up in Bankhead. Bought out the ownership of Bankhead Seafood. If you never had Bankhead Seafood, you need to get some Bankhead Seafood. Shameless plug.
Okay.
You're welcome, Bankhead Seafood.
I might have to go by there today.
I think it's complete, but I saw the drawing plans of an enormous edifice for the restaurant to try to clean up the neighborhood, which over years had gotten in shambles. And also, Killer Mike is in the process of developing or has developed a community bank. I can't remember the name of it.
I think it's Greenwood
Yes,
Building or
Green
something.
yeah.
Green.
Mhm.
I was seeing that. I've seen a lot of it.
So that was very radical. I
Yeah.
mean, and radical in a good way, in a wonderful way.
So nowadays, with y'all kind of working together, is it hard in the industry to break into the industry or to stay in the industry from with you being an African American male specifically?
Well, it depends on who you ask, because the break in Hollywood. Yes, I've heard stories of even the best of the best, whatnot. I've heard stories of the challenges like a lot of major African American men who are entertainers in this industry have faced, as well as the sisters as well. But you have to blaze your own path. So that's why Tyler Perry is doing what he's doing. He blazed his own path. And even though people think Tyler Perry has Atlanta on lock because he has enormous acreage over at Fort McPherson, believe it or not, it's still plenty of food for everybody to eat. Yeah, because you can have about 10 more Tyler Perrys here, and it still be enough room to eat. So it's good to start. Just like, with a regular job, at starting your career, it don't have to be in the entertainment industry. You can start by working for someone. While you working for someone, learn the tricks of the trade, and when it comes time, you can make that leap of faith and start your own thing. So that's one of my aspirations, is to produce my own films. Because that's really where the power is. The power is who you don't see in front of the camera.
When you're speaking of a leap of faith, a lot of times people deal with what they call imposter syndrome, where they suffer from chronic self-doubt. No matter what they accomplish, it's still inadequate. have you seen that? Have you experienced that personally? Even though you've had probably check stuff off the box.
Yes, I've had that experience when I was in my 20s.
Okay.
When anything I tried to get involved in, if it wasn't acting, it was a business opportunity, whatnot. But when things got difficult, I just like, screw it, I quit. But at the same time, and I love my mother to this day. Her name is Pearl Oliphant. She taught me a lesson, a hard lesson about this. I was getting frustrated that after tries of other ventures, I got in this venture. I said, "Well, Mom, I don't understand why you're not supporting me." I said, "Well, you're not really giving me a reason to support you because you're always jumping into new things. Now, if you show me that you're serious and you making commitment, then she don't say I got you because she's a retired teacher."
Oh yeah.
But that's what she meant, and so it's important that nothing's worth having if it's easy. We have a carnal mind of not appreciating the fortunes in life, because everyone that achieved major success, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in sports, whether it's in being a big-time attorney or a business owner, whatnot, all of them have a story that they went through something. Think about it. Nobody got to the top easy, ever.
Everybody got a story.
Everybody got a story. Everybody had to go through something to get to where they are.
And for you, that encouragement from your mother and just hearing what she said, stick to something, persevere.
Right. Show me.
Okay.
Show me that you're serious. Show me your commitment. That was she was getting at.
Okay.
I wasn't committed. So everything you're gonna, because oh my God, I went through a lot with my journey to become an actor. From the jobs I've had, not having jobs, not having a car, but I had to get to an audition. I had to leave like 3-4 hours before the time for the audition to take 2 or 3 buses to get to yes. Yes. So if I wasn't seriously committed, I wouldn't be where I am now. I'd be like, man, I ain't going through all that. I don't feel like it.
Do you feel accomplished right now?
I was telling a good close friend of mine that I feel blessed that I see elevation every year. I see going to the next level. I see myself I'm at a better place than I was the previous year.
And is that solely off of the entertainment industry or getting into multiple streams of income that you were speaking on? Okay.
Both. Mm-hmm.
So,
because it's decisions I made.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you learn about more of those multiple streams of income?
I learned through a couple of friends of mine who were involved in what's called it's a market that we as African Americans and people who are not just African Americans but people who are deemed as low to middle income classes. An industry that wasn't afforded to us, that was hidden from us for years. It's called foreign currency exchange trading.
Foreign currency
exchange trading, also known as Forex.
Okay.
Forex trading. And it was just regulated by banks. That's why we didn't know about it. Now it's deregulated. Now we can all tap into it. And the program that I'm involved in where we teach people how to plug in is called Epic Trading. Where you pay a monthly tuition fee, and we teach you how to trade on the Forex market. Because I came in excited but knew nothing about Forex trading, but they've been teaching me how to do it. And also, if you want to refer people to it, you build an organization and you start earning what's called a weekly referral bonus, because you're helping Epic Trading build its organization, and they reward you for it.
So I've heard a little bit about it. Scares me a little bit. Is it risky? Like extremely risky?
It's risky if you're not disciplined. You have to be a disciplined trader. Now, a lot of people that been in trading, they lost money because they weren't disciplined. They tried to wing it on their own. They didn't want to follow the program. See, the thing is, we don't throw people out in the wolves after you sign up and it said learn on your own and risk you losing money. But we have a system. We have it's called Epic University, where we have a 2-week syllabus that teaches people how to earn money, how to read charts, how to read the market. And while you're learning how to read the market, you can actually watch master traders do their trades, and you could take a few coins you got and do the same thing.
So is it similar to stocks, but it's just on a foreign
It's
level?
another level from stock market. See, the stock market is just based in the United States,
Okay.
where if the only way you make money is if what you invest in is making money and profit. But if the stocks fall, you're losing money.
Right.
However, with the forex market, the currency exchange that you're investing in, when it goes up, you make money, and when it falls, you make money. Buy low, sell high.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people jumping on this. We got lawyers involved in this. We got pastors involved in this. Retired educators involved in this. People on all walks of life. We got truck drivers and garbage collectors involved in this. Anybody can do this, only if you want a future. Now, I will tell people this. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Mm-hmm.
We've had people that come in expecting a get-rich-quick scheme, expecting to get all these millions of dollars, whatnot, and not only it didn't happen for them, but whoever they tried to share it with, they got discouraged. Oh, you getting involved in that scam? What you doing getting involved in that scam? Whatnot? They bought into their mentality. So that's kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You know, you letting people
Put doubt in you.
Right. You got people with a crab mentality influencing you. You got to make this decision. What you gonna do with your life? So nobody need to tell you not to do something if they're not offering you a better alternative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
how do you get beyond that? How do you get beyond deciding, okay, when this person's trying to look out for me and when this person just got this crap mentality?
Well, in one's growth toward success, wherever your endeavors are, there's going to be some losses. Mm-hmm. Not saying, I mean, you can't choose your family,
Yeah.
but you can love them from afar. Yeah. You can select your friends, your circle, because if they're not helping you grow, then they got to go.
I like that.
Because I've lost some people on the way. One recently.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's the price you have to pay.
Yeah. If they're not helping you grow, they got to go.
They got to go.
Okay. How can people find you on social media, and what else you got coming up next?
Absolutely. I have my website is MV Oliphant. That's MVOLIPHANT.com. On Instagram, I'm MV the actor. On Facebook, I'm actor MV Oliphant, and on Twitter, I'm MV Oliphant. And also, the website for Epic Trading is epictrading.com/Mark Oliphant.
All right. Thank you for coming out, man, and sharing your thoughts with us, telling us more about you, what you got going on, staying focused, and just continuing, persevering.
Yes, sir.
I love how you said everybody got a story. Everybody got a story, and we're learning things throughout our story that can help other people.
Yes.
And at all times, at any time you're having a conversation with somebody, you know, you may be a blessing to them because of your past experience, because of your actual story.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you stopping through and blessing us with yours. I'm Kervin Searles, your host for Speaking with Gravity. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know, I just try to stay active on all social media platforms. We try to make you think, make you feel. And if you have any type of thoughts about therapy or any questions about anything that we go over in the podcast, just reach out to me on those social media platforms, and I'll try to get back in contact with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Thank you to Vision Winnie. I think I got it correct this time. Thank you to Vision Winnie for his production on this podcast. Again, thank you to my wife and my family for supporting me throughout this endeavor that I'm choosing to kind of dive into. And remember, I'm a therapist. This ain't therapy. It's just a podcast. Until next time.